There is a code running beneath every interaction you have ever had, a hidden script. Most men play the role of the pawn. They react, they emote, they chase, and because of this, they lose. They are slaves to a biological imperative they do not understand. But there is a second category of man, the architect, the one who sees the code. You are here because you sense a shift. Perhaps she has pulled away, perhaps the dynamic has flipped, and you find yourself seeking validation from a source you previously controlled. You feel the chains tightening. You are in the loop. To break the chains, you must first understand who forged them. They call this toxicity. We call it leverage. They call it manipulation. We call it strategy. What you are about to hear is not dating advice. It is not for the faint of heart. It is the declassified psychology of control. It is the mechanism of the narcissist's loop. And once you see it, you can dismantle it. Or, if you have the stomach for it, you can weaponize it. Welcome to the Dark Influence Code. Let us look at the most successful psychological operation in human history. It wasn't a war, it was a romance. Berlin, the Cold War, the Stasi, East Germany's secret police, had a problem. They needed access to West German government secrets, secrets held by secretaries, clerks, and mid-level bureaucrats. These targets were lonely. They were invisible. They were starving for significance. Enter Marcus Wolf, the man without a face. He created a unit known as the Romeo Spies. Wolf did not send soldiers, he sent lovers. He trained elite agents, not in ballistics, but in the art of the perfect reflection. These agents would identify a target, usually a woman with a specific emotional deficit, and they would become the exact shape of the missing piece in her soul. For 3 months, the Romeo would bombard the target with love bombing, intense attention, future faking, validation. He became her universe. He raised her dopamine baseline to heights she had never experienced. He created an addiction. And then he vanished. Not forever, just long enough to induce panic. When he returned, he was colder, distant. He claimed trouble at work, threats, danger. He introduced fear. To save the perfect love, she had to prove her loyalty. She had to give him the documents. Thousands of women betrayed their country, their families, and their morals, not for money, but to fix the glitch in the loop. They were chasing the high of the first 3 months. Wolf understood the core principle of dark psychology. Dependency is not created by giving. Dependency is created by diving and then withholding. The mechanism. You must strip away the romance and look at the mechanics. The narcissist's loop is a 3-stage algorithm designed to break mental resistance and enslave the target's focus. If you are losing power in a dynamic, it is because you have fallen out of the guard position and into the subject position. You have become the one waiting for the reward. Here is the anatomy of the chain. Phase 1, the idealization, the setup. This is where the trap is laid. In the beginning, the narcissist creates a shared fantasy. They mirror your values. They mirror your pain. This is not empathy. It is data collection. By appearing to be your perfect counterpart, they lower your defenses. Biologically, your brain is flooded with oxytocin and dopamine. You stop analyzing. You start trusting. You believe you have found a soulmate. In reality, you have found a mirror. Phase 2. The devaluation, the price anchor. This is the pivot. Once the target is hooked on the dopamine supply, the narcissist introduces the glitch, a subtle criticism, a delayed text, a cold look, a reference to an ex-partner who was better in some way. This creates cognitive dissonance. The target's brain asks, "He was perfect yesterday. Why is he cold today? What did I do wrong?" This is the critical moment. Most people try to fix the problem. They work harder. They apologize for things they didn't do. By trying to win back the idealization phase, they accept a lower status. They accept the new price anchor. The narcissist has just signaled that their attention is a high-value asset that can be withdrawn at any moment. Phase 3. The discard and the breadcrumb, the loop. The narcissist pulls away completely. The target goes into withdrawal, literal chemical withdrawal. The cortisol spikes. The anxiety creates a vacuum. And just as the target is about to break free, the narcissist returns. A text, a smile, a moment of warmth. This is intermittent reinforcement. It is the most powerful psychological force known to man. It is the same mechanic used in slot machines. If you win every time, you get bored. If you never win, you leave. But if you win sometimes, unpredictably, you will pull the lever until you starve. This is the chain. She idealizes you, she devalues you, she withdraws, and then she feeds you a crumb. And you stay. The weapon, counter-espionage. Now, we invert the dynamic. If you are dealing with a psychological operative, you do not use relationship advice. You use counter-espionage. To break the chains of the narcissist's loop, you must stop acting like a civilian and start acting like the handler. Here is the 4-step protocol to reclaim absolute dominance. Protocol 1. The double agent, emotional extraction. The amateur tries to confront the narcissist or escape abruptly. This is a mistake. It triggers their chase instinct and escalates the drama. The professional does not run. The professional unplugs the machine while remaining in the room. You must become the double agent. You give them the appearance of control. You smile, you agree, you play the part of the devoted partner, but internally, the emotional feed has been severed. You are no longer reacting to their intermittent reinforcement. You are observing it. While they believe you are still asleep in the matrix, you are quietly securing your finances, rebuilding your isolated network, and preparing your exit. You rob them of their power long before you ever walk out the door. Protocol 2. Disinformation, the Barium meal. In the intelligence community, if you want to find a mole, you feed them fake information, a barium meal, and wait to see where it leaks. The narcissist is constantly scanning you for weaknesses to use during the devaluation phase. If you hide everything, they will dig harder. So you feed them a decoy, tell them a fake insecurity, confide in them that you are deeply stressed about a minor, irrelevant issue, or that you are sensitive about a specific topic that actually means nothing to you. Then, wait. When the loop turns cold, they will inevitably weaponize that exact insecurity to hurt you. When they do, the trap snaps shut. They think they are stabbing you in the heart, but they are stabbing a dummy. You will feel no pain, only the cold, calculated satisfaction of watching a predator expose its own mechanism. Protocol 3. Compartmentalization. The dead drop. The goal of the psychological parasite is total systemic infection. They want access to your phone, your friends, your schedule, and your mind. You must build blast doors. You do not give an operative the keys to headquarters. You interact with them at a dead drop. You must restrict their access to your empire. They get specific hours. They get specific access. If they attempt to breach the firewall by creating drama during your work hours or demanding access to areas of your life you have sealed off, you do not argue. You enact a total communication blackout. You train them that crossing the boundary does not result in a fight. It results in a void. Your true sovereignty remains invisible and untouchable. Protocol 4. Interrogation immunity. The tactical yield. During the loop, they will attempt to gaslight you. They will rewrite history, twist your words, and accuse you of crimes you did not commit. The civilian instinct is to jade, justify, argue, defend, explain. Understand this. In an interrogation, defending yourself proves that the interrogator has authority over you. The countermove is the tactical yield. You use amused mastery. When they launch a ridiculous accusation, you do not fight it. You agree with it in a way that strips it of all power. You're right, I am completely unreasonable today. You caught me. I'm the villain of this story. You offer zero resistance. You agree so effortlessly that it ruins their game. Gaslighting requires friction to catch fire. When you refuse to provide friction, their psychological attack hits empty air. You remain perfectly calm, watching them exhaust themselves against a wall of stone. The conclusion. The architect's ascension. The narcissist's loop is fragile. It relies entirely on your blindness. It relies on your biological weakness for validation and your fear of the cold. But now, you see the code. You see the gears turning behind the smile. The next time you feel the pull, the anxiety, the urge to chase, the desperate need to fix things, stop. Recognize the withdrawal symptom for what it is. It is not love. It is a chemical dependency engineered by a parasite. You must build a sovereign mind, a mind that cannot be hijacked by dopamine, guilt, or fear. A mind that generates its own value, its own purpose, and its own reality. This is not about being cruel. It is about being unbreakable. It is about ensuring that you are the architect of your own life, not a pawn in a cold war you didn't know you were fighting. If you are ready to master the dark psychology of power, wealth, and influence, then you are ready for what comes next. We are building a network of architects, men who understand that the world is a chessboard and most people are merely pieces. Subscribe to the Dark Influence Code. Turn on the notification bell. The interrogation is over. Walk free.